Welcome all to our weekly meditation town hall, drawing your attention to our upcoming one-day virtual retreat on Sunday, January 4th. You can check out all the details at dzogchen.org. We'd love to have you there. It's a great way to start the year. Lama Surya and Lama Roger will be leading that day along with other senior students. So please think about spending a day with us. And today we have the good fortune of having Timo with us to lead. So I am going to turn it over to him. Thanks, Timo.
Good morning, everyone. Just gazing at you for a moment. I like to go through all the pages for a moment, so I see all of your faces. And also some no faces. So we're here in a Sangha. So if we were in person, we would be sitting in a circle and we would be able to see you. So if you can, allow your video to shine a little so we can feel you a little bit more explicitly with us. The beauty of Sangha is that there is an actuality of this resonance between us. And that's why we come together. And there is also a brightening of the field of being when we open up to each other like this. And that's what these teachings of Lama Surya and the long history of beautiful teachers are about. The actuality of beingness. And one of the most profound teachers of that is Longchenpa. So I'm more and more feel so deeply moved by his help in my self-liberation, is that I read him more and more. And so there is another aspect of that, is that when sometimes these texts, when we read these books, because it's speaking about something that's not a thing, yet it's everything. It's beyond words and letters. So we actually have to open up to the same field of being from which it was written. And it counts for all little pointing out instructions that I'm allowed maybe to flow a little with you. So right away, please right now, without any bells or form, be the presence of awareness, love, knowingly right now. Would you take a breath with me? Open your mouth and echo softly. Yes. So thank you for coming this morning. That's not a small thing, right? It's such a beautiful thing of all the millions of possibilities. You move into this space with us. Right? So there's always an aspect of like, oh, how do I get out of this psychology? How can I accelerate my liberation? But we need you too. Your resonance in the space with us is super important. So a lot of the teachers through the history of Tibetan mind training traditions, the teachers call out loudly, "Pet!" kind of like the refreshing of the mind. On Zoom, that's just a little contrived, so that's why I often ask for a breath, a refresh. So I'll be asking for occasional breaths and a refreshing, because we can get a little attached on both sides. We can either drop into thoughts, feelings, emotions, and perceptions, or we can kind of get stuck in the beautiful, spacious, blissy, rainbow hot tub of being. Dzogchen is definitely not transcendence. It's completely the metabolization of everything that we are. So at first we open up to this boundless beingness, and then we allow the mind to just move, which is not always such an easy thing. So again, please be the presence of awareness knowingly. Just so kind of allowing the habitual mind to step aside a little bit or relax. 16th Karmapa often said, relax. So relax attention. Attention always shoots out at an object. It's coagulated laser beam awareness. So just relax. Let attention fall back into its origin from which it has arisen. And more an all-pervading, soft, bright awareness. And the habitual mind, our psychology, and any movement kind of We're not without psychology and movement, but we're free from it. We are so much more than that. We're that wide openness in which it arises. And when this more boundless field vantage point of being becomes more explicit and comes forth, then our psychology is just such a small thing. It's something that has no grab. It doesn't pull us in. We don't get encapsulated by it. So just a movement in the field of being. And we can actually perceive this field of being, this direct perception. So in principle, this awareness of being aware, timeless awareness arising in time, is the only actuality that we have. And it's so intimate and always right with us. So we can just fall back into the arms of Mother Awareness in any moment of our life at any decibel level. So again, let's take another breath. I'm really fresh. And so we integrate it and metabolize it, embody it. You feel the edges dropping away, and we're not so confined by our skull or the boundaries of our anatomy, more the soma of being the body, the radiance of the resonance of the body even. We can feel that delicate vastness as a fullness, an openness. An openness. Openness is a beautiful word. Openness was actually an evolution of languaging when it moved from emptiness to openness. Do you feel that a little emptiness is sometimes a little nihilistic? It still has its purpose in places a little bit, but emptiness has insubstantiality maybe, but the vastness and the openness of being, then what is this recognition of our true essence? Just being aware of being aware. When we experience that clearly, that's the guru within. So this knowingness, this knowing of the knowingness of being is hard to describe because it's not an object. Yeah, we just know it. In simple terms, a little bit more here in the world, it's the I am. But that's already a little bit the joy of being as you, as the Buddha on your seat. The first exclamation in this world is like, I am. And I know in Sochen we ask, who is it that says I? No. There's also the pointing out instruction in Sochen always says, just as you are. That's why it doesn't work to transcend, get out of here. No, just as you are. We cannot heal ourselves when we move out of the just as we are-ness. So let's move into this field of being, of awareness, and at the same time, just feel the all-at-onceness of your body, and maybe the coloration of your body-mind continuum. Yeah, that's a profound vantage point shift. The habitual mind is less foreground and just drops back, and there's more room for expanding awareness. What you are profound. What you are is profound, deep and timeless. Like Lama Roger likes to say, so much more than you think. And then he adds so perfectly, so much more than you can think. You are the profound manifestation and boundless potential capacity of a consciousness that can go beyond the limitations of psychology and even personal identity. And in stabilizing this openness of being, in this timeless awareness, you become the healing expression and unfolding of consciousness in the world, as a teacher of wholeness, kindness and wisdom. Yes, you. Yes, us. So no longer waiting for the right teaching or the right teacher. Be the teacher right now. As soon as we open to this actuality, we feel the resonance of the city energies, the little wisdom energies. Do you feel the resonance of your being? It's that co-arising, right? This knowingness of knowing, this gnosis of being, and this resonance, the chakras, the energy channels, the radiance of the body. Direct perception. And then when we habituate the continuity of this direct perception, then direct expression, no longer expressing ourselves in the world from these limiting beliefs and tried old patterns, but spontaneous presence. That is one of the main Lundrup Sochen. Spontaneous presencing, spontaneous breath and energy, the breath resonating directly. Then the words become less important, and just the melody of the desire for others to know this space of liberation. And then from that space, as like I usually say, is like, I don't care if you become an excellent meditator. I just want you to be profoundly free. And that's the melody of my voice, beyond the words and letters. May you be free. Semni nelok tokpar jinji lap to soul. Please bless us that we may come to recognize the nature of mind, the natural state. Let's take another breath. Mouth open. When you open your mouth upon release of breath and energy, there already is the ah sound. The resonance of the Buddha in the world. Let me resonate my current little favorite prayer by Shanti Deva. How amazing is that all these old teachings 1400 years ago still resonate so liberatingly right now. And he said, may I be the protector for all those without protection. A leader for those that journey, a boat, a bridge. May I be a passage for those desiring the furthest shore of awakening. May the pain of every living creature be completely taken away. May I be the doctor and the medicine. May I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world, until everyone is healed. just like space and the great elements like the earth. May I always support life of all boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain. May I also be the source of life for all the realms of various beings that reach to the limits of space. Have that desire arise in your heart. Feel into your heart. Right? Notice that the wish for happiness is always resonating in your heart. And from this more open actuality of timeless awareness arising in time, that matures in the wish for the happiness of all beings, pure desire. I like the word desire. I desire you to be free. Be free right now. Just now. Relax into the knowing. Relax into the radiance, the felt sense, the somatic resonance of being. Don't hold too tight. If there's a little bit of movement, don't get hypnotized by it. And upon that recognition of your true essence, we sit upright, strong with confidence, no more waiting. And feeling the soft glow of the siddhi energies, the wisdom energies, and the lovey energies arising from the heart. That's why it's often called the heart essence tradition. Yingtek, heart essence. Allow your heart essence and the knowing of being to come up from the heart and come out the eyes and your local sphere of being and saturate the space all around with the knowing of being. And have timeless awareness saturate the space all around. Boundless. A center that's everywhere. in this recognition of our beingness, this resonance wishes to be shared. So allow the desire to deliberately share, to just flow out to everyone on this call and maybe beyond. And hold all those that are here, especially those that have a difficult day or a difficult time in their life. In this shared resonance, we facilitate each other's self-liberation directly. And please notice that when you flow out like that, there's a brightening, and by helping others sustain their beingness knowingly, there's an acceleration of your own self-liberation. Let's sit there for a bit together. Distance collapses in this timeless awareness. Time and distance collapses. take a breath together. Stay with us. We need you. Don't hold too tight. Remain within this sense of this innate awareness and experience the arising of everything and anything within this awareness, this field. And experience not only the arising of experience, but also the dissolving of experience. And when it dissolves, what remains? We don't vanish, do we? There's a shining there. Become an expert, a master of arising and dissolving. Become a master of the arising of emotion and feeling and the arising of sensations, the arising of memories and fantasy, the arising of conceptualizations and the dissolving of all these. The dissolving of affective states, living in the ongoing continuity of arising and liberating, and as a nodule in this Indra's net, the dissolving and liberating and transforming on behalf of all of us. And what facilitates the dissolving is to identify what arises right upon appearing. Kind of quicker, being really immediate. And that is not a pushy thing, it's like even relaxing a little bit more, yet bright mind. We get like bombarded with 1,000 impulses a second. Everything is dissolving. Let's take a breath right there. And then it suddenly shifts and it becomes really soft. Everything that arises dissolves and liberates, like snow melting into a warm lake. Yes? Let's hold each other there for a bit. we are that which metabolizes our life. And from this vantage point, it metabolizes everything back into its purity. So here, while you're sitting in this beautiful openness, liberating us all, here are the first few phrases of Longchenpa, or as Lama Surya calls him, Long Papa. In a very most subtle way, the flesh is light, and light becomes flesh. Light is contained and at times hidden in the flesh of the heart. The dimension of awareness and Dharmakaya, let's call it source for now, is the space of the human heart. And the essence of Dharmakaya is purity. The untouched purity of the innermost space of the heart. This pure space can be felt and even easily known. Let's take a breath right there. So Longchenpa never speaks a word which is not a pointing out instruction. When he says the untouched purity of the innermost space of the heart, which can be easily known. So don't collapse into your heart. Have the vast expanse of beingness knowingly. Allow it. And feel into the purity of your heart and its innocence. Right? Innocence as its loving purity, and in its more strong, confident, maybe even wrathful capacity. You sit here upright as the protector of innocence, the guardian of wholeness. stay with us. Maybe another 15 minutes or so. Just relax. Don't be rough on yourself. This is not a militant meditation. Your body can move a little, relax. Relax the mind. Bless the space all around with your beingness. Like Lama Surya says, first meditating, then unmeditating. How do you not meditate while you meditate? You're the yogi. Balance that. Allow that. Those non-meditation instructions are always at this vantage point, this experience of being is not just this moment, right? This is, our life becomes the meditation. Yeah, can you feel into that? Can I be like this throughout my life? And then that's the non-meditation. Boundless and fast, bright and immediate, soft and sweet, strong and confident, relax. Once you know your own beingness, you know the beingness in one and all. So in this tradition, we either in Rigpa or we not. Rigpa, the knowing of our being, boundless, interconnected, or Ma, not in Rigpa. So Ma Rigpa is the moment we no longer are aware that we are aware. And right there we get swept into the mind's drama and lose the spaciousness that's always there. We get hypnotized by our own thoughts. We forget our natural clarity and get stuck in our head. So if you get a little stuck in your head, maybe drop into your heart. Take a breath. Relax. Allow it to saturate the space all around. Ma Rigpa is the narrowing of our being. When the boundless wholeness field collapses into the small self and its stories. Small self and stories can still happen, free from it. I am the natural freedom of being. I am the natural loving freedom of being. Why don't you just say that? I am the natural freedom of loving being. We're just going to be together a little while longer. So let's take another refreshing pet breath. Yeah. Not holding on to any states. I call that reverse meditating, trying to sustain something that was. No, just spontaneous. Right here, right now. This bright immediacy. Here a little poem. I rest in the fearless heart of being, without beginning and without end. This is my home, life after life, death after death. No mind can hold it, no story can bind it. It is here, unmoved by cause, untouched by time. I do not seek it, for I am it. Indestructible, open, unborn. This knowing openness does not depend on belief, nor does it lean on hope. It is the actuality of being itself, radiant, immediate, and free. All that arises and dissolves moves within this field, never outside of it, never apart from it. Here, knowing knows itself, steady, even when the world trembles, whole in the intensity of a tender human life, alive in the boundless wholeness that knows no beyond, as us, here, now. Always right with us, as us. Instead of dimming towards the end, let's intensify. Let's be more aware with the breath. For this, setting this momentum of our beingness knowingly. For the transitionless transition into the rest of our day and life. The untouched purity of the innermost space of the heart. This pure space can be felt and even easily known. Let's remain in the constancy of this timeless loving awareness knowingly. Stay with us. Soft, sweet, bright, clear, couple minutes. No marikpa. Sit here confidently, your guardian of wholeness. Putting the healing mask of oxygen mask of beingness knowingly on your own face, on your own heart essence in this world. We are all doorways for the self-liberation of all of those that enter our realm. Let's take a last collective breath together. Mouth open. A couple minutes. We have a little group and we read Longchenpa, and at the end of it I always read the last paragraph of the book, this book, The Precious Treasury of the Basic Space of Phenomena. I'm sure a lot of you know it by Longchenpa, and if you don't, maybe get it. It's pretty amazing. So as a dedication prayer, I will read the last paragraph. And Longchenpa ends his book, and this is one of the last books he wrote, so it's like the accumulation of all his wisdom is resonating. By this virtue, may all beings without exception effortlessly reach the primordial ground. May they become spiritual rulers who spontaneously accomplish the two kinds of benefit, dwelling on the level of Samantabhadra without transition or change. Samantabhadra, the archetype of this boundless wholeness. In all directions, may there be well-being, splendor and wealth, so that everything that is wished for is spontaneously accomplished as though in a pure realm. May the drum of spiritual teachings resound and the victory banner of liberation be raised. May the sacred teachings never wane, but spread and flourish. This text, entitled The Precious Treasury of the Basic Space of Phenomena, composed on the slopes of Gangvitokar by a yogin of the most sublime spiritual approach, Longchen Rabjam, is now completely finished. Good fortune, good fortune, good fortune. And then the lamas usually gunk you in the head. So here, give me a little head. Bang. Love you very much. Let's take a breath. So we'll sit for the last couple minutes before Dory closes the room. If there is something that's coming up, oh, I can see everything. Glenda, you wrote something one moment. Here's something I realized this morning. I'm trying to practice the platinum rule of seeing the light in everyone and everything. I can see the light in animate things and let thoughts and feelings come and go. But I had not realized that my thoughts and feelings and reactions also contain the light of knowing, right? Until this morning. Not like you haven't mentioned this before, but okay. Now I'm starting to see the light in everything, meaning thoughts, feelings, sensations, reactions as well, which liberates them. Thank you, Doreen. Yes, Glenda, I don't have really anything to add to that. Oh, book name, please. The Basic Space of Phenomena by Longchenpa. That will find. The Basic Space of Phenomena, or The Precious Treasury. It's a grouping of books, but if you get one, maybe get this one, or... Thank you, Anita. If you really have if you want to share straight from your heart essence and not show and tell, you can unmute and say something or ask a question, or your silence, your stillness is just as beautiful. Yeah. Transitionless transition. The meditation really starts now. Yeah. Can you feel that vantage point? The meditation starts now. Are you going to metabolize your life through this wholeness? Or are you going to collapse into your stories again? Stay open, sweetheart. Stay open. And again, thank you for coming to be with us. I'm looking at all of you a little again, going through the pages. Nothing but gratitude. And why do we get to know this space? I heard somebody call it, it's the givenness of the Dharmakaya, the givenness of this boundless wholeness. Even Longchenpa says, great fortune. So to say thank you, that I may be free. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Timo.
Thank you all. Be well.